Sorry, guys. One of the other deals that's being discussed today, Arsenal have also made contact. Chelsea are in for this deal. Spurs are considering a bid. Chelsea are looking at increasing their... I hate the way journalists get so pernickety because they're so scared of being called out. Chelsea might increase their unofficial bid they've already made, according to the Guardian. Can we just speak in English and say their fucking bid, right? To stop the PR shit for Mohammed Kudus. Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, all looking here at Mohammed Kudus. Chelsea and Spurs with the biggest links to him. Is that the kind of player you want to see added, Dan, to your team?
Yeah, I think that's a huge improvement. I think he can play across a multiple number of positions in terms of the front three. I think he's a better option than Nkunku. I feel like there was a couple of moments last year that showed there was a little bit of spikiness in his character, which I don't mind coming into the team. I think he wants to win. And technically, I think he'd be a great player to sort of level up the squad. And when you're comparing, if that's who you bring in with Madueke going out, I think it's great business. That's the type of upgrade I want to see happening. And I actually think a number of Premier League clubs missed the trick allowing him to go West Ham, because I think he was a cheaper value, and I couldn't believe that they all sort of slept on it. So I think this has been almost inevitable.
Instead for some reason.
No. We wanted him, but we were stopped from getting him.
So did Brighton as well. Brighton had
Brighton. I remember Brighton.
They had a contract agreed with him, but West Ham paid more. But he's got a release clause, which is £80 million, which is active from July.
Do you think that gets matched, Henry? Do you think that's what goes?
I think he goes a lot less. I think he goes for like 60 mil.
Why
do you think he goes for less than that? Why?
Because he wants
no one will pay that asking price.
He wants out. He was headbutting people to get out last season, to be fair. So I hear it.
Do you think the only thing I'd say about Kudus, right, going to Chelsea, is I almost wonder if it's just, and this is only a whole balance perspective. I just wonder if it's one too many left
24,
actually. Just one too many left.
Too old.
No, he's not too old.
Nah, but to be fair, he replaces everything you've got on the right hand side. If
Madueke goes, I think
literally.
But do you think they sign him as well as then maybe go for like a Gittins, or do you think this rules out all the other deals for Chelsea?
Yeah, if you sign him, you're not signing Gittins. And I think
they might.
You reckon?
I think they might.
Yeah,
I think they might try and offload Nkunku.
How many wingers are they going to have?
Nkunku and
I think he's got his ban.
Henry, are you trying to say that Chelsea won't stockpile players?
And they won't sign loads of wingers.
What I'm saying is they've got Neto who can play both sides. They've got Madueke who can play both sides. Palmer can play out on the right. Christopher Nkunku's future is still up in the air if he's going to go or stay. Jackson can play out on the left, right? And then you're potentially bringing in.
I feel like Jackson's told everyone he can play on the left, but I'm not buying that, by the way.
I think,
that was why
they can barely play up front, mate.
They are actively, I mean, he's believe he used to work for their PR side of things or whatever his actual role was, but they are actively trying to sell him. Tottenham, according to Paul O'Keefe, the main wingers they want are Semenyo or Kudus. Now, Kudus for me, if he comes in, he starts on the right over Brendan Johnson. That is, if anyone's saying Johnson should be starting over him, you're out of your mind. But he can also, I think he can play in the false nine for Spurs as well, because I think he's got the pace to do it.
I don't think
if we go out and sign Kudus, that for me, all this bullshit about Levy wants to win the Premier League, Levy wants to win the Champions League. That's just PR for how shit we have been all season, just to kind of get a lot of us back on side. But now he needs to show it. And if we go out there and start by bringing in, Kudus for 50 million, but we've just brought in Tel. So that tells me I think Son's gone. I think he's going to go Saudi in August.
Yeah.
Get the South Korea tour out of the way, maximize him for everything he's got, and then come August, he will be going. I think Richarlison's gone. I think Kudus will be a fantastic replacement. But the one I want is Gahey. If Gahey goes to Liverpool, I'll be pissed.
But Kudus would be massive for you lot, though, man.
100%. I agree,
man.
Is it a big enough move for Kudus, though, Kunle?
Is there what?
Is it a good enough move for him, though?
I don't think. That's why I don't think he picked Spurs personally. I think it's either Chelsea or if Arsenal go in for him.
He's coming into a winning team.
He's got Champions League.
Coming into a team which just won silverware.
A team that lost 21 games last season.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That doesn't sell. But what does sell is the fact that we just won a trophy.
Don't write off Thomas Frank.
I guess he's got to believe. I guess Thomas Frank's got to convince him about this project that he's starting at Tottenham. That's going to push on. If he can, then maybe there's something in there, isn't it? Because the positive part of this what's it called? This process with Thomas Frank is that he's got Champions League football to start with. That could be a massive positive. It could be a positive or a big negative where you don't get found out massively because you had to sacrifice 21 games in the Premier League to win 8 games in Europe. So is that going to be the same process next season? I don't know. What was it? 8? Wasn't it 8 games? Something like that?
I don't know what it was. You had to just kind of throw that in, didn't you?
More than that.
I have a question. I have another fictional football question for you, right? So, Kudus and Semenyo to Tottenham is better than the Lap and Gittins to Chelsea. Tom.
Yeah, football.
Fiction or football?
Football. The Lap, good sign. Let me not take away from that. The Lap's a good sign. I'm not as big on buying on Gittins as others are. But that comes to about 80 million. Tottenham are obviously going to have to pay a bit more to get Kudus and Semenyo. What you're getting there is 2 Premier League proven, strong, quick, direct wingers. I think that Tottenham didn't utilise Dominic Solanke anywhere near enough properly last season. I do think there's a good striker in Dominic Solanke, but they just didn't use him properly because the wingers...
Not going to let this Solanke prop.
No, I never will. Like me and Staffy have been riding and dying on this Solanke thing. I don't think that the wingers that Tottenham had in Tell, Werner, Johnson, Son, and to a lesser extent Kulusevski, if he ended up playing in the middle and was all right, ever really played into Solanke's hands as wingers, whereas what Semenyo and Kudus can do is make the direct runs behind the defence, so Solanke's hold-up play can actually go to someone. They can run narrow and link up with Solanke. They are 2 very good wingers who will also further unlock that number 9. I think Bynum Gittins is a decent winger, but end product is massively lacking. I think the Lap, very interested to see how he handles going from big fish in small pond to small fish in big pond. The other 2, Kudus and Semenyo, whether you like this or not, Henry, despite the size of Tottenham Hotspur, with the plays in your attack, Kudus is going from big fish in small pond to big fish in big pond. And Semenyo is going from big fish in small pond to big fish in big pond.
I think our attack's the worst area.
The adaptation won't be as strong there. So I think that's a football. I think that's 100% better.
Solanke already? Did he already play with him?
They played.
Yeah.
They played along.
Good signing.
It's going to be interesting to see what Frank does with that front line because he tried to sign Johnson at Brentford. They put like a £42 million bid in, which we had to go and put 50 in for him. So it'd be interesting to see if we sign Kudus, who's going to play out wide for us? Because we're not going to spend 35 million quid on Tell and have him sitting on the bench because of our good relationship with Bayern Munich.
A lot of money.
It ruined.
It is for Spurs. Our record signing's like 60 million quid.
I think it's football. I think Thomas Frank is going to get madness out of Solanke. Like genuinely believe he's going to get some madness out of Solanke. Solanke's a really good player. Like really, really good player for me.
Leave it out.
I just don't think he's got the team around him that does enough work. And he ends up having to do too much hard work himself, and he just looks knackered when he gets onto the ball, like for finishing.
Well, our entire system was about getting down to the byline and cutting it back, where Solanke scored the season before the most headers of any striker in the league. So we went, do you know what? We're not going to play to his strengths.
Let's not do that anymore.
No, wait. Because of one season at Bournemouth, you lot are sold on this Solanke boy. Because I've not seen any other season where he's set the league alight or anything. And what is it that you see?
Apart from youth level, Kunle, that's it.
What's Solanke? Yeah, the season at Bournemouth. That was
that's the one. Other than that one season, what else?
Yeah, but I think
confidence will be up for this year.
I hear that.
I think Solanke could see the package though. Yeah. He had it all there. He wasn't great.
So.